Hi, I'm Guna Mathivanan. Welcome to Simply Current Affairs. Before going into today's editorial discussion, let us finish the feedback for the question which I gave in the last video. Friends, if you are watching this video series for the first time, then please watch my introductory video given in the playlist to know how to participate in this answer writing program. The initiative is open to all. And as you all know, we have launched our exclusive current affairs and economy program targeting prelims 2026. To know more about our courses, you can visit our website www.simplycurrentaffairs.com, or you can WhatsApp the number given in this video, or you can click the link given in the description for more information. The question which I gave in the last class is, despite significant increase in the installed capacity of renewable energy, India's grid emission factor has been rising. Examine the cause behind this paradox and suggest measures genuinely decarbonize the country's power sector. So how to write this answer? Start with the fact. Introduction. Start with the fact that our installed power capacity of renewables has increased by almost 50%, but the grid emission factor, that is the pollution caused by the carbon emission cost in production of 1 unit of electricity, that has significantly increased. And this paradox is because of following reasons. Give the reasons. Then what measures we can take? Suggest measures to genuinely decarbonize. So what measures? List out the measures. Then give the conclusion that just mere adding up the installation of renewable capacity alone is not sufficient. We have to effectively utilize, for which we have to do these things. Answer is over. Right. So we have taken the answer of Sri Nayaki today. In the introduction part, you have given the fact. Very good. India has rapidly expanding. Great. You have also mentioned that yet the grid is becoming dirtier. So you have given another fact. So this paradox shows that capacity addition has not translated into clean energy utilization. Here comes the problem. Clean energy utilization is one of the reasons. It is not the only reason. In your answer, you have mentioned that the reasons for increased grid emission factor, where you have highlighted low capacity utilization is one of the point. That is not the only point. Right? So what you could have done here is, this paradox shows the capacity addition is not resulting in the true cleaner energy transition. Like that you could have given. Specifically, you have mentioned about utilization, that is making the point more narrower. Right? Then, while explaining about the reasons for GEF rising, why are you defining what is GEF? The question is not about GEF. See, don't try to teach the teacher. The evaluator will know it. Okay, they knew about it. They are testing whether you are knowing it or not. So here it is not required. Then low capacity utilization of renewables. Renewables have low capacity, okay, when compared to coal, that point is fine. Weaker grid absorption, timing mismatch, that is fine. Rising power demand point is also fine. So 3 points I have given. Measures to decarbonize the power sector, demand management, okay, the tariff flexibility I have mentioned, energy efficiency I have mentioned, promote virtual power plants. Okay, in this point, linking millions of home batteries to act as large power plant is fine, and accelerate pumped hydro battery storage. What is this here? Pumped hydro battery storage, I am not able to understand what you are mentioning here. Okay, and launch scrappage incentives is fine. Your conclusion, India's clean energy transition now depends not adding more renewables. So do you think that we should not expand our renewable power capacity? Don't say not. Say that India's clean energy transition now not just depends on more additional capacity. Okay, don't say not required, okay? Don't give such sweeping statements. But on using them in a better through storage, grid flexibility, efficiency. Okay, so the renewable capacity becomes renewable generation, lowering GEF in reality to 4.4835. This fact is not going to add value here because the question is not truly about GEF. Okay, but anyhow, your conclusion is fine. This not you could have avoided. Apart from that, your answer is good. Right? Fine. So today's editorial topic will be discussed by Dr. Roopavi. The topic is regarding stem cells. So she will be giving you a detailed idea about what is a stem cell all about.
Hello everyone, I am Dr. Roopavi. Today we are going to discuss an important topic featured in the Down to Earth, which is about stem cell therapy. Every human being is an organized mass of 30 trillion cells, and this keeps changing. But every day, nearly 330 million cells replace the older ones every day. For instance, our intestinal lining gets replaced in every 3 to 5 days. Likewise, red blood cells, which are the component of blood, the life cycle of red blood cells is just 120 days and they get replaced regularly. This regeneration keeps us alive. Our skin remains intact, blood flows uninterruptedly, and our intestinal lining remains intact. And this is all because of this regeneration. And the specialized cell that helps this regeneration are nothing but stem cells. And these stem cells are also called as miracle cells. And that's what we are going to discuss today. See, our flow will be like, we will first understand what stem cells are and what are its types. The types based on their source, and one more thing is based on their potency. Followed by that, we will understand what stem cell therapy is, what are the applications of stem cells, and the advantages of stem cell therapy over other treatments. And if there are any challenges and limitations, followed by that, regulations of stem cell therapy. So this is what we are going to discuss today. First, we'll try to understand what are stem cells. The stem cells are nothing but they are unspecialized cells. Unspecialized cells which has the potential or ability to differentiate into any of the cell types. See, this is blood cell, this is nerve cell, skin cell, these are all specialized cells. But if a cell is unspecialized, that is, it did not differentiate into any particular cell type in the human body. So, it is an unspecialized cell which has the potential or ability to differentiate into any of the cell types. That cells we call it as stem cells. And these stem cells have two important unique ability. One is self-renewal. That is, it can divide and renew itself. So, it can produce more and more of stem cells. And the other one is, it can produce specialized cells. It can differentiate it into any of the cell type in the human body. So, this is the specific ability of stem cells. And next we will be seeing what are the types of stem cells. See, based on its origin or based on its source, we have two types of stem cells. One is embryonic stem cell and the other one is adult stem cell. See, these embryonic stem cells are sourced from early embryo stage. What is embryo? When an egg and sperm gets fused to form a zygote, and that stage we call it as embryo. It gets developed into a human body. It gets developed into the cells, starts dividing, and they get developed into particular organs, and completely a human organism is formed. Right? And this stage, if the cells are sourced from early embryo stage, we call them as embryonic stem cells. Since these cells can differentiate into any of the cell type in the human body, means it can develop into heart, it can develop into brain, it can develop into liver, or anything for that matter. Because of this, we call this embryonic stem cells as pluripotent stem cells. Pluripotent. So, the ability of a cell to differentiate into any of the cell type in the human body, that ability we call it as pluripotent. However, adult stem cells means in a developed human being, if the stem cells are sourced from certain developed tissues. For instance, it can be sourced from bone marrow, it can be sourced from brain, it can be sourced from liver, anywhere, okay. So, if the stem cells are sourced from any of the particular organ, particular developed tissue, then we call them as adult stem cell. These adult stem cells are very limited in number and they can get differentiated only to a certain group of cell types. For instance, if we take stem cells from bone marrow, we call them as hematopoietic stem cell. Hematopoietic stem cell. See, these hematopoietic stem cells are capable of getting differentiated into the closely related cell types. That is, it can develop into red blood cell or white blood cell or even platelets. Right? So if a cell is capable of getting differentiated into closely related cell types, then we call them as adult stem cells. Now, see, these adult stem cells are multipotent in nature. Multipotent. In contrast to embryonic stem cells, which are pluripotent, adult stem cells are multipotent. Embryonic stem cells can differentiate into any of the cell type, but adult stem cells can differentiate only to a limited and related cell types, right? That's why they are called as multipotent. Now, this sourcing embryonic stem cells is very difficult. And also adult stem cells are very limited in number, and then they can differentiate only to a certain cell types. So to overcome this drawback, what we are doing is, we are sourcing adult stem cells in laboratory. We are transforming this adult multipotent stem cell to pluripotent. We are changing this adult stem cell from multipotent to pluripotent in a laboratory setting, and this we call it as induced pluripotent stem cell. Induced pluripotent stem cell. Right? So this overcomes the drawback associated with embryonic and both adult stem cell. Right? So this is a very important topic from both prelims and mains perspective. So I wish you listen to this carefully and understand the topic. Right? And now that is based on the source. And now this is based on the potency to differentiate. There are 5 types. Pluripotent we already discussed, multipotent we already discussed. The third one is totipotent. Totipotent means if a cell can give rise to a complete organism, then we call that particular cell as totipotent cell. The classic example is zygote. Zygote is nothing but the sperm and egg gets fused to form zygote, and this zygote is giving rise to a human. Right? So this is totipotent cell. And oligopotent, unipotent are certain different types. Unipotent means it can give rise only to a particular cell type. That is, epidermal stem cells which are sourced from skin, they can produce only skin. Oligopotent means they can differentiate into a very particular type of cell types, right? That is oligopotent. So these are the types of stem cells based on the potency to differentiate. Now what all we have seen? We know now what are stem cells, what are its types based on its source and based on its potency. Now let's understand what is stem cell therapy. See, stem cell therapy means treatment. Stem cell therapy is nothing but we are going to treat something with the help of stem cells. So it is a form of regenerative medicine where the diseased cells are getting replaced with stem cells so that the disease gets treated. Now let's understand what is stem cell therapy. See, therapy means treatment and stem cell therapy means we are going to treat a disease with the help of stem cells. See, stem cell therapy is nothing but it is a form of regenerative medicine whereby the diseased or injured tissue gets regenerated with the help of stem cells. We will see how the stem cell therapy works. For example, let us assume that I need an organ transplant. So what we are going to do, I am going to a doctor, the doctor is sourcing stem cells from my own body. It can be sourced either from my own body or someone who is related to me. From them also I can source the doctor can source the stem cell. And after sourcing, these stem cells are programmed in the laboratory so that it gets differentiated into a specific cell type. Which organ am I requiring? So that organ we can program the stem cell to get differentiated into that particular organ, right? After programming the stem cell, then these stem cells are again infused into my own body so that the diseased part will get regenerated with the help of the infused stem cell. So this is how stem cell therapy works. Hope that's clear for you. And we have so many applications related to stem cells. Broadly, we can classify them as research application and therapeutic application. Research application, see if we are sourcing stem cells from an adult human being, these stem cells, with this stem cell, they can study about the cell biology or the differentiation, how the cell gets differentiated, that can be studied. And also in laboratory setting, it can be grown into a particular organ. So we can study about that organ, the disease progression in that specific organ, and also drug testing can be done in a laboratory setting. So this is all related to research application. And therapeutic means treatment related applications. Any regeneration is possible with the help of stem cell. For now, we are using hematopoietic stem cell transplantation, that is bone marrow transplantation is approved for now. This is for blood related disorders like leukemia, thalassemia. These all can get treated with the help of stem cell therapy. And also any organ for that matter. Neurological conditions, certain neurological conditions, the neurons get degenerated with aging. For example, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, these are neurological diseases where the neuron gets degenerated. In that case, we can infuse the neuron specific, nerve specific stem cell so that the neurons get regenerated. That is also possible with the help of stem cell, and much more therapies are still in research. These are all the applications related to stem cells. We have so many advantages associated with stem cell therapy when compared to traditional or conventional methods of treatment. The first one being precision therapy. See, certain broad spectrum treatments like chemotherapy. We'll consider that someone has cancer, so he's getting chemotherapy done. And this chemotherapy, along with targeting the tumor cells, it also attacks the human's own cell, the person's own healthy cell. But here, this stem cell therapy is very precise. We can target a very specific issue that needs treatment or that is diseased. So precision therapy is one advantage associated with stem cell therapy. And the second one being, it has the potential for treating previously incurable diseases like thalassemia. Thalassemia is a blood-related disorder. This is curable, and certain diseases are only symptomatically manageable, and those diseases can be treated with the help of stem cell therapy. The third one being tissue regeneration. In cases of severe burns or severe accidental injuries which is not treatable with current medical advancements, even such diseases or such burns can get treated with the help of stem cell therapy, because the tissue can get regenerated. We can regenerate any type of tissue with the help of stem cell therapy. And the fourth one being, it is very minimally invasive. Minimally invasive means we need not do any surgery, we need not, that's not very much complicated. And also the complications associated with the surgery is not here in case of stem cell therapy. So this is minimally invasive with reduced complications and reduced side effects. And the last one being, since we are using our own stem cells, the chances for getting rejected is less in case of stem cell therapy. The last one being reduced risk of rejection. See, in case of organ transplantation, sometimes our body doesn't accept the donor's organ because our body considers that organ as a foreign body. But in case of stem cell therapy, that doesn't happen because we are using the patient's own stem cell or very closely related one's stem cell. And these are all the advantages associated with stem cell therapy compared to other conventional methods of treatment. Even though we have so much of advantages associated with stem cell therapy, there are certain limitations and challenges. The first one being scientific and technical constraints. See, the adult stem cells, as I said before, adult stem cells are very limited in number and they do not get differentiated into many of the cell types. This is one disadvantage associated with adult stem cell. And to overcome that only, we form induced pluripotent stem cell. And maintaining the purity and stability of induced pluripotent stem cell in laboratory is difficult and challenging. Second one is ethical and regulatory concerns. See, embryonic stem cells are sourced only in vitro fertilization. In vitro fertilization means fertilization that is happening outside the human body. it occurs like a natural fertilization only, but in a test tube. So we are taking sperm and egg, we are fusing it in a test tube, making a zygote. After it becomes a zygote, we implant that into the mother's womb. This is how in vitro fertilization happens. But we have multiple samples. If one attempt gets failure, then the second sample will be tested. So after the implantation becomes successful, the other samples are there, right? That one will be used for research purposes. However, here we are destroying a life, we are destroying an embryo. That's why this is raising moral objections. So there are moral objections and ethical concerns associated with the usage of embryonic stem cells. Many clinics, they are providing unproven stem cell therapies, which is very, very risk for people, and it is also exploiting the trust of the people, right? And people are also people also have very limited awareness about stem cell therapies. These are all the limitations associated with stem cell therapy. Is stem cell therapy regulated in India? Yes, it is regulated in India. We have national guidelines for stem cell research given by ICMR and National Biotechnology Institute, and this is regulating stem cell therapy. Unproven stem cell therapies are banned in India, and also therapeutic usage is restricted only to hematopoietic stem cell transplantation, as I mentioned before, that is for blood and immune related disorders, right? Only for that, therapeutic use is restricted. For any other diseases, the therapeutic use is not still in use. Okay. The last one being, under new drugs and clinical trial rules 2019, stem cell therapy is considered as a drug. So, for a drug to get approved in India, what are all the procedures it has to follow? The same procedure the stem cell therapy should also follow for getting approval, right? These are all the regulations about stem cell therapy in India. See, stem cell therapy can revolutionize modern medicine. However, this ethical and regulatory concerns has to be addressed, and people should also be made aware for it to become even more successful. So with this, we are coming to the end of the session. This is a very important topic from both prelims and mains perspective. So I have given 2 prelims PYQs related to this topic. I want you to go through it and comment your answer in the comment section, right? So based on our discussion, here is a question for which you are supposed to write an answer, and this is actually a previous year question. Stem cell therapy is gaining popularity in India to treat a wide variety of medical conditions, including leukemia, thalassemia, damaged cornea, and several burns. Describe briefly what stem cell therapy is and what advantages it has over other treatments. See, this is a 10-marker question. You are supposed to write an answer in 150 words and mail us your answer to the mail ID given here. I'll meet you in another session. Until then, keep following all our initiatives and get benefited. Thank you.